I think it's important to recognise that from the perspective of the People's Republic of China, and indeed from the perspective of those on the island, that there is one China. That's the first thing to remember, which means that from a sovereignty and a territorial point of view, the island is part and parcel of a much larger sovereign nation. Now, in an environment where there is a threat to that sovereignty from external forces, then it is quite reasonable for the government of that sovereign nation to exercise whatever actions it needs to exercise in a prudent way to protect its own sovereignty. Now, I don't believe that that means that the People's Liberation Army would, quote, invade, unquote, Taiwan. Firstly, by definition, you can't invade your own country. But secondly, I don't believe that that is a necessary part of the action that would be taken to protect the island and its sovereign status within the context of one China. What China has actually demonstrated over the last few years is its ability to rapidly circumnavigate the island and protect it from external interference. And there is no reason why that kind of approach would not be a reasonable response should sovereignty be threatened. Now, how external forces then respond to that will ultimately determine what happens next. And this is the dangerous point, because if external forces believe that they have a right to interfere in the sovereign issues of a sovereign country, then there will be trouble. And, let the world be warned that external provocateurs who are pushing this issue for their own geopolitical interests, and they have been doing this for 7 decades or more, are starting to jeopardize the pathways to peace, long-term peace and stability in the region. And that is not in the interests of both the peoples on both sides of the Straits, let alone other parts of the region.